Bado Duracha, big time miscreant. And they're all thinking they're a good person. I'm an ideal citizen, family man, I'm responsible. Brita Janma Gelota, She Poshu. Do not know, have relationship with Lord Nityananda. Well, Lord Nityananda here, but they're not coming. So much work we have to do. Give your life for spreading Krishna consciousness. If you want to become dear to Krishna, give your life for spreading Krishna consciousness. This is the most glorious life. Give your life for spreading Krishna consciousness. Ma chatasman manusheshu kashtit mei prikritama bhavatana chame tasman anya priyatara bhuvi. Where is the other one who is as dear to me as the one who has given their life to spreading my mission? Give your life to spreading Krishna consciousness. Such a need, such an urgency, such a requirement, such a necessity. People are suffering in ignorance. We have to enlighten them. We have to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Shraddha Kabunai. It's Krishna consciousness is there in their heart. They're meant for loving Krishna. They're actually meant for loving Krishna and serving Krishna, but they're not. They are bewildered, material energy, because we're not connecting them to the all-merciful Panchatattva avatar, Panchatattva. So Mahaprabhu, why he appears in with 5 features? Because of the Sankirtan movement. How can you do Sankirtan one person? They're dancing, the Panchatattva are dancing in the Sankirtan. This is the Sankirtan, the Jugadharma. So Goshandar, he began to manifest that he had to establish. He wanted to go to Vrindavan. It's very interesting. We can conclude from this example, from this incident, we can conclude that it is acceptable. One should have a desire to go to Vrindavan. One should have a desire always to go to Vrindavan. But Mahaprabhu at that time, he abandoned his journey to Vrindavan on the Akashvani. We have come to remind you. We have come to remind you of the purpose of your avatar. Mahaprabhu, he's so much engrossed, he's so much absorbed in the prema vesh, that he doesn't think he's Krishna. How much burning love is that? He's so overwhelmed in the love for Krishna that he's racing off to Vrindavan. But he is that Krishna. So why is it? Because Bhakta Rupa, he's showing us how a devotee lives. He's showing us the consciousness of a devotee. They're always desiring Vrindavan. Always desiring Vrindavan. See, he's showing us this is the appropriate consciousness for the devotee. So then, taking heed of that Akashvani, Divyavani, Goshundar, he abandoned his journey to Vrindavan. He returned to Navadip, and he was a changed person. Changed person. He was unable to give the class. He was unable to carry on teaching the grammar. Unable. And he began the Sankirtan movement with the Aramba, Sankirtan, Lila, Aramba Hecha, and then the dancing in the house of Srivas Thakur. We were discussing the confidential kirtan with the Gaudangera Shangi Gon Nitta Shita Korima. Gaudangera Shangi Gone Nitta Shita Korimane. The eternal associates, they appeared, the Brajavasis, Nanda, the Nandudulal and his associates, the cowherd boys. Nityananda Prabhu in Panihati. You know Panihati Lila? So Raghav Pandit, he came with he said that we've cooked on dal, shak, sabji, bhaji, the Raj Bhoga. We cooked at the ready to serve you the lunch. Nityananda Prabhu not inclined. No, he said, Gopa Jati Ami, Bahut Gopagon Shonge, Amrashuk Pai, Pulin Bojan Ronge. Nityananda, Gopa Jati Ami, I'm a cowherd boy. Gopa Jati Ami, Bahut Gopagon Shonge. I have appeared with so many cowherd boys. Amrashuk Pai, Pulin Bojan Ronge. We enjoy having a picnic on the banks of the river. So Raghunath Das Goswami, his punishment was to facilitate a festival wherein Lord Nityananda and his associates, they were able to enjoy the mood of Vrindavan. a picnic on the bank of the Jamuna. This is always the Nityananda Prabhu, he's always in the mood of cowherd boy. Nityananda Prabhu, although he's older than Mahaprabhu, he's 12 years older. Nityananda Prabhu. I'm talking about Nityananda Prabhu because I'm the Nityananda Chandra. I'm seeing the Darshan Pavitra. I'm thinking of Lord Nityananda. Nityananda Chandra. He's in the mood of cowherd boy. Even though he's 35 years old. He's like a young boy, and Malini, the wife of Shivash Thakur, she has to feed him, spoon feed him. He's like a baby, like a child, like a cowherd boy. And dressing for preaching, he's preaching in Panihati, Nityananda Prabhu, Kumara Hata, Adi Shaptagram. Mahaprabhu, what did Nityananda Prabhu preach in Bengal? Nityanandhyay Agyadila Ho Jao Gauda Deshe, Onargal, Prema Bhakti Koraho Prakashe. Hey, holy man, do not come to Jagannath Puri every year. Jao, go to Deshe, go to Bengal. Onaragal, Prema Bhakti, Koraho Prakashe. Without restriction, you distribute prema, love of God, all through Bengal. Those who are fortunate to preach in Bengal, they get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. They're doing the business of Lord Nityananda. Not just Bengal, everywhere. But particularly Mahaprabhu had interest in delivering Bengal. Therefore he sent a Priyotam, the dearest servant. You are responsible for delivering Bengal. Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu had special attachment. And now preaching in Bengal is very developed. Is very much inclined to Bhagavad Bhakti and Shankirtan. Even now in the villages, all through Bengal, Shankirtan. We installed deities, Pundarik Dham, Sri Bharshabhanabi Murari. Shri Bharshabhanabi Murari. And our GBC for Hyderabad, Pujapad Srila Joy Pataka Shami Maharaj, he explains that his worshipable deities are Sri Bharshabhanabi Murari. And did you know these things? Yeah. And he has small deities of Bharshabhanabi Murari in his room in Mayapur. So those deities installed in Pundarik Dham, Bharshabhanabi Murari and Mahaprabhu, Bhanu Swami Maharaj and Jagpataka Swami Maharaj, they installed the deities there many years ago. So they installed the deities there in the village in Pundarik Dham, not far from Chittagong. Birthplace of Srila Pundarik Vidyanidhi Mahadai is who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi Mahadai? Amongst the learned scholars of the Goswami Grantha, who can tell us who is Pundarik Vidyanidhi Mahadai? Who can say? Vishabhanu Maharaj, a father of Sri Radhika. So Sri Radhika is there. Radha Kund is there. A very special place, a holy town. And one time I was in Mayapur, evening, rooftop, Jagpataka Swami Maharaj, he was reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat. He was talking Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He said, who's been to Pundarik Dham? One, two devotees put there. I was sitting, he said, you haven't been? I said, I was in Bangladesh preaching. He said, what's the point in preaching in Bangladesh if you haven't been to Pundarik Dham? Oh. So when we installed the deities there, then we performed yagya. All of the local people were astonished. They'd never seen Gaudiya Vaishnavas performing yagya. This is the common village man. He understands the conclusion of the Goswami Grantha. The common village man. What is this fire yagya? What is the point? Well, when the fire? Shankirtan yagya. The common village man. This is Bengal. This is Purva Bengal Bhumi. The common village man. He knows. Well, what's the fire yagya? The Shankirtan is the yagya. The Shankirtan yagya. So Bengal preaching. Very Nityananda Prabhu awarded that. Preaching in Bengal. So Mahaprabhu, he began the Shankirtan, the house of Srivas Thakur with the Antaranga Bhaktagan, Baladev, Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Balaram, Avadut Shiromani, the crushed jewel of the Paramahamsas, Srivas Thakur, Garada Pandit, the Shankirtan, in the house, closed doors. And the Brahmins of Navadip, they were envious. One Brahmin cursed Nimai. He cursed him. He was on the bank of Ganga. He cursed him. He says, why are you not allowing me to enter? I curse you. You'll be bereft of material enjoyment. Mahaprabhu in ecstatic. Oh, this is not a curse, this is blessing. Blessing, bereft of material enjoyment. You can never enjoy, even you try. You will never enjoy. This is the Japati Japati Mantra Karale Pagal. Those who are chanting Hare Krishna, we're warning you that you will not be able to enjoy anymore in this material world. All the fun goes away. Too much knowledge. You can't enjoy anymore. Can you imagine going to the cricket match and having an entertaining day, paying money to go to watch the cricket? You cannot do anymore. You think these madmen running up and down, back and forward, back and forward. What is the gain? What is the gain? Already there, running back up, and just stay there. Why back? Come back forward. You're there, just stay there. No, so many runs. And the champion, the world, the hero. So many times he ran up and down. He's the hero of the world. He's the great pride of Mumbai. So many times he ran up and down. How can you enjoy these things anymore? Japati Japati Mantra Karale Pago. We apologize for destroying your material life. So Mahaprabhu was cursed. So then he began the Sankirtan. Shunu Shunu Nityananda, Shunu Haridas, Shabatra Amaragya Kodaho Prakash. Everywhere. Shabatra Amaragya, my instructions, Kodaho Prakash. You reveal. Prati Ghore Gore Gi, Koro Ebika, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shikha. Prati Gore Gore. The Sankirtan movement began. And Mahaprabhu personally performing Sankirtan. Ei Shikha Niya Shab Nadi, Fiche Neche Gaunitai. Fiche Neche, wandering, dancing. Ei Shab Nadiya, all through Navadip. Mahaprabhu personally preaching. Radha Krishna Bol, Bolo De Shabhai. Radha Krishna Bol, Mahaprabhu's preaching all through Navadip. And then Goswami accepted sannyas. Why accepted sannyas? For the preaching. When they see me, dharibe charan, they will fall down, clasp my feet. Dharibe charan, ei mote udharibo shakal bhuvan. In this way I will deliver all of the resistant groups. There was some resistance, the smarters, the scholars, the students, the Shaktas, the atheists, Nashtik and Navadip. Navadip was such a city, there was all classes of people. Navadip Shompoti Ke Borne Bare Pari. Who can describe the glories of Navadip? Ek Gonga Gate Lok Lokshnan Kori. In one gut, 100,000 people bathing. 100,000 people. Now even on a big day you don't see 100,000 people. And there were many, many, many guts. 100,000 people. Ek Gonga Gate Lok Lokshnan Kori. 100,000 people. Just try to understand the opulence of Navadip now. So Goswami accepted sannyas. However, he left Navadip. Shanna Sher Dharma Nahe Shanna Shkoriya Nij Janmashtane Rahe Kutumbalaya. It's not the duty of a sannyasi, having accepted sannyas, Nij Janmashtane Rahe, to remain in his place of birth, Kutumbalaya, with family members. Mahaprabhu left Mayapur, left. Went to and then took sannyas, went to Katwa. Now, immediately upon taking sannyas, again, the burning desire to go to Vrindavan and manifest. Goswami initiated Keshava Bharati Maharaj in the Vaishnava mantra. Before giving the sannyas mantra, Keshava Bharati, he was Mayavadi, Ek Danda Shannashi. Before giving the sannyas, Goswami said, Goshai, last night I had a dream in which an effulgent Brahman, he told me a mantra. What mantra? This mantra. He said the mantra. Oh, very nice mantra. Let's initiate you in that mantra. So already he was initiated in the Vaishnava sannyas. And then Keshav Bharati. And then Mahaprabhu burning desire. You can imagine Mahaprabhu sannyas? Not like in Iskcon, there's sannyas list. Everybody knows. Already on the list, getting closer. When you're Ishan Gaur Prabhu, when your sannyas will be now? How many more years? 1, 2 years left? We will. I pray this. I'm seeking this benediction from the Vaishnava assembly, that with these very eyes I can sit and see Ishan Gaur Prabhu accept sannyas. You give me that blessing. You give me that blessing. Fulfill that desire. I desire to see you. Bless me. I can see. Now one day, Goswami, he's in Mayapur, Shachi Angane, in the courtyard of Sachi Devi, Shachiyangane. He's taking the prasad cooked by Vishnu Priya. He's taking the prasad cooked by her. She's serving that day. Next day, he's a sannyasi. Next day, he's sannyasi. Saffron, nothing, given up everything. Given up everything. He went, nothing, no Aadhaar card, credit card, key to the room. Even now, sannyasis in Iskcon, they're not like that. They have room, they have a base, they have their books, they have their headquarters, they keep a few things there. Not like the Mahaprabhu, nothing. He left Katwa, sannyas, with a danda, his only possession. He's not even shoulder bag. Not even shoulder bag. Only possession. Such extreme renunciation. He accepted. And Ebesh Koile Ebe Vrindavan Giya Krishna Nishebon Kori Nibrite Boshya. Having accepted this dress, Ebesh Koilo Ebe Vrindavan Giya, I'm going to Vrindavan. Krishna Nishebon Kori Nibrite Boshya. Nibrite Boshya, in a secluded place, Krishna Nishebon Kori, I will absorb myself in worshipping Krishna. It's very fascinating to see that Mahaprabhu, this was his consciousness, fully absorbed, Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed in the Braja Bhab, Vrindavan. And for this reason, Ebesh Koilo, I've accepted sannyas. I've accepted sannyas. I'm not able to achieve that platform, not able to achieve, because obligations in this world. Mahaprabhu Lila, family obligations. Now sannyas, Vrindavan, take full shelter of lotus seed of Shamsundar. Mahaprabhu is saying like that. Accompanying him at that time were Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda Datta, Acharya Ratna. They accompanied Mahaprabhu. Not everybody went to Katwa. Not all the devotees, not everybody. A few devotees went to Katwa, Mahaprabhu's sannyas. And then Mahaprabhu was so warm. You can imagine, one day Grihastha at home with the wife taking prasadam, next day sannyasi. No sannyas training, Praladananda Swami certification. No, nothing preparation. Straight into sannyas. Long, the Shundor Chul, Mahaprabhu Lomba Shundor Chul is shaved. Can you imagine? What a festival, what an impact. Mahaprabhu like a madman, wandering in the Radha Desh. Kaviraj Goswami says 3 days, Vrindavan Das Thakur says 10 days. No eating. He's wondering, where is Vrindavan? Where is Shamsundar? Mahaprabhu himself. And Nityananda, Mukunda Datta, Acharya Ratna, they're not actually traveling together. Mahaprabhu too is too absorbed to even communicate with devotees. In completely maddened state, Brahmavesh. So then Nityananda, after some time, Nityananda Prabhu, he appears, he comes in front of Mahaprabhu. Oh. He's standing in front of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu sees him. Oh, Prabhu kohe. Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Sripad, Tomad, Kotai Gamon, where are you going? What are you doing? Nityananda Prabhu said, replies, Sripad kohe, Tomar Shange Jabo Vrindavan. Tomar Shange Jabo Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu, what a character. How transcendental. He had a whole plan. Tomar Shange Jabo Vrindavan. It's like talking to a man, one madman talking to another madman. You have to talk in the madman language. Tomar Shange Jabo Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu, okay. And then he asked the cowherd boys, where is Vrindavan? Nityananda, he arranged everything. He went to the cowherd boys. He says, this sannyasi, he's a madman. He's so tall, he's Gauranga, Chandra, golden. He will ask you for directions to Vrindavan. When he asks you, you point him in the direction of the Ganga. Cowherd boys, he said, Mahaprabhu's Kotai Vrindavan. The cowherd boys are, here is Jamuna. It's very interesting how much Mahaprabhu, his consciousness, you've been to Bengal, you've seen Ma Ganga. Many places I've taken bath, Ma Ganga, all through Bengal, but she looks similar. Ma Ganga in Katwa, Ma Ganga in Panihati, many miles, but same color, same style, Ma Ganga. Mahaprabhu's thinking Jamuna. He's so dear to Ganga. That Bansha Kalpa Tadu Shri Gauda Shundor Jhana Vir Bansha Punna Kore Nirantor. Mahaprabhu grew up on the banks of Ganga. Grew up on the banks of Ganga. First outing was to bathe in Ganga, Sachidevi. Every day bathing in Ganga. His class on the banks of Ganga. He defeated Digvijay on the banks of Ganga. It's such a relationship Gosundar had with Ganga. Is that Navadip Bitare, Gaurmandal Bitare, Navadip Gaurmangal Bitare, Janabi Rishabita Hoye, Shada Shaba Kore. She beautifies Navadip Dham, that's her service. Navadip Dham, Gaurmandal Bitare, Janabi Rishabita Hoye, Shada Shaba Kore. Ganga, she beautifies Navadip. She creates the islands of Navadip. What a relationship Gosundar has with Ganga Devi. And then the cowherd boy said, "This is Jamuna, Mahaprabhu." He's offering prayers. Jamuna. This is Jamuna. And then he takes bath. And then on the other side, he sees Advaita Acharya with a boat. Advaita Acharya there with a boat. Nityananda Prabhu, he had spoken before, he had arranged, he'd spoken to Acharya Ratna. There were 3 associates accompanying Mahaprabhu after sannyas. Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda Datta, Acharya Ratna. Nityananda Prabhu, he instructed Acharya Ratna, first you go to Shantipur. You tell Advaita Thakur to prepare everything. I'm bringing Vishwambar, Navadip Chandra. And then he said to Acharya, then you go to Navadip, you tell all the devotees to come to Shantipur. This is to Nityananda Prabhu. He's feeling the pain of the Navadip Vasis. How is it? Mahaprabhu suddenly took sannyas. And many devotees, had no idea. There was no preparation. There was no advance notice. And then next day, Mahaprabhu's gone. And every day they're doing Sankirtan with him. Can you imagine? With the Supreme Lord, Gaur Hari, you're dancing, you're seeing him and Nityananda Prabhu dance and spinning, and the Kirtan, and the Subhash Angan. Every day you're enjoying and seeing Gosundar walking with the devotees and performing the Sankirtan and the pastimes. Every day you're enjoying, and then next day he's gone, and you never knew, and he's disappeared from your life. In fact, Subhash Thakur, he couldn't stay in Navadip. After Mahaprabhu took sannyas, you know that? Subhash Thakur, he couldn't tolerate being in Navadip. He left and he went to a place called Kumarahata, which is near Panihati. And Mahaprabhu visited him there later when he returned on the attempt to go to Vrindavan. The topic of Mahaprabhu's desire to go to Vrindavan, we could speak every day on this for the next week. There's so much a predominant theme in the consciousness of Mahaprabhu, his desire to go to Vrindavan. So everyone came to Shantipur, all the devotees from Navadip, the Sachi Devi, she came on a palanquin. All the devotees from Navadip, they came, all of them except one. All the devotees came except one. Vishnupriya. Yeah, Vishnupriya. Everyone else came. Sachi Devi on a palanquin. When she got down, she saw Nimai as sannyasi, shaven head, danda, lal kapur. She saw. First thing she said, do not be cruel like Vishwarup, who never again gave us audience. So then there was Shankirtan festival, Shammelan, 10-day festival in Advaita Acharya's home in Shantipur. All Navadip devotees, thousands, and all devotees from Shantipur. They're all there. Big festival. Prasadam, Shankirtan, Bhagavad Kotha. That is Vaishnava Shammelan. Bhagavad Kotha, Shankirtan, Prasadam. Every day, evening time, Mahaprabhu dancing. Those kirtans of Mahaprabhu, very special in Shantipur. At any moment he will leave. We don't know where. Kirtan Korite Prabhu Sharva Bab Uday Stamba Kampa Pulakasru Gadgada Pralay. He was manifesting all the symptoms of Bhav Bhakti, Radha Prema. Stamba, Kampa, Pulakasru, become like a pillar, Stamba, Kampa, quivering like a leaf in the autumn. Pulakasru, hair, body erupting like a ripe jackfruit, Gadgada becoming choked up, pralay, devastation, kirtans in Shiva Shangan, in Advaita Bhavan, Advaita Thakur's house, Shantipur. And then there's discussion. So Sachidev is saying, so you desire to go to Vrindavan, but then how will we survive? You go to Vrindavan, we'll never hear of you. Vishwarup, you cannot, please. And then she said, you do this. In this way, two goals will be achieved. You go to Jagannath Puri, because Jagannath Shami he is Sham Shundar, he is Sham Shundar. Jagannath is blackish. Jagannath Shami ki, a most ecstatic deity, most ecstatic Jagannath deity in all Iskcon here. Most ecstatic Jagannath deity. So ecstatic. Just like Jagannath Puri. So ecstatic. So Sham Shundar, blackish. Mahaprabhu, he was taking darshan of Lord Jagannath in Puri. He's thinking he's in Vrindavan. He's seeing Sham Shundar in Jagannath Puri. And all of the events in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu is completely in the consciousness of Vrindavan. So you go to Puri because it is close by. Gaudiya Oriya. Gaudiya Oriya. Ek body dui ghor. One house, two rooms. Gaudiya Oriya. Very similar. Gaudiya Oriya. Language similar. The cooking similar. Culture similar. All through Bengal, Lord Jagannath is worshipped. All through Bengal. Actually, here, Hyderabad, we saw Jagannath temple yesterday. We went with Sitaram. We drove past big Jagannath temple. All here we have Jagannath. Some places, but not so common. In Bengal, Jagannath worship. Bengal. All through Bengal. East Bengal. Purva Bengal, Jagannath. Ancient Jagannath temples. Oh, Purva Bengal, Bhumi. In our Iskcon, Bangladesh, all temples is Jagannath main deity. Except a few with Hare Krishna, Chittagong, Pundarikdam, and Dhaka, Samibang, Jagannath. Jagannath deities, all through Bengal. So the coming and going, Gaudiya Oriya. Tom Rishal Pado Gamon Agamon, Gangrishna Neo Hoveta Ragamon. You'll all come and go, the associates. Mahaprabhu's associates in Navadip, they can go to Jagannath Puri. Tom Rishal Pado Gamon Agamon. You can come and go. And then in that way I will get news. I will hear regularly. And as we see every year, the devotees from Navadip, they went to Jagannath Puri every year. And they remained there for 4 months. Chaturmasha, from the time of Rath Yatra onwards, they arrived, they performed Rath Yatra with Mahaprabhu, and they remained there every year for 20 years. And so when you hear Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Jagannath Puri, you'll hear that so many of the Gaudiya Bhaktigan are there. All the Advaita Acharya, they're inviting Mahaprabhu, Sivasta. They had residences in Puri. Advaita Acharya, he would invite Mahaprabhu for lunch. He was there with Shita Thakur, and they were cooking. They had an apartment. They had their residence in Puri. The Gaudiya, the Bengali Vaishnavas. Oh, Bhakti Krishna Pandit, Haridas Thakur, he came, he stayed in Puri. Shita Bakul, he stayed. So Nisray Mahaprabhu, many old devotees coming and going from Navadip. And in this way, Sachi Devi, she was able to sustain her life. And Mahaprabhu also, he returned in his first attempt to go to Vrindavan. That after accepting sannyas, he went to South India, he went to Puri and delivered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And we see after taking sannyas, Mahaprabhu's preaching style, it became very high profile. Beginning with delivering the guru of the king of Orisha. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, such a prominent personality. He's like the Shankaracharya of Puri. So they say the head of Hinduism. Shankaracharya of Puri. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was occupying that post. Even now, Rath Yatra doesn't begin till the Shankaracharya comes. Such a prominent post. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the guru of the king. Mahaprabhu, he turned him into such a Vaishnava. It's extraordinary. He became a fanatic. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He couldn't even say the word mukti. Couldn't even say the word mukti. Because of Mahaprabhu's preaching. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Bhakti Padai Sadai Bhak. Mahaprabhu, no, you made a mistake. That's not the word. The word mukti Padai. No, I do not say that word. And then subsequently South Indian tour. So many prominent personalities. Ramananda Roy, governor of Madras. Yenkat Bhatta, head pujari, Srirangam. Tattvavadis, Udupi. Oh, high profile preaching. For this reason Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He came to Puri and it immediately notice was brought to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. A sannyasi has come from Bengal. A sannyasi has come from Bengal. Such a attractive young man. Immediately attracted the attention. So Mahaprabhu took sannyas for this reason. And although the desire to go to Vrindavan so strong, so prominent, Mahaprabhu, upon achieving Jagannath Puri, he left after delivering Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Just a few weeks he was there, he left. South Indian tour, preaching. And then upon returning, again he began sharing with Ramananda Roy. The first visit, Mahaprabhu, he hadn't established himself in Puri. He left shortly after South Indian tour. And then upon returning, all associates came for permanent residence. Brahmananda Bharati, Paramananda Puri, Rai Ramanand, Haridas Thakur, they were not there. Mahaprabhu South Indian tour, then they all came and permanently resided in Puri. Mahaprabhu's associates, sannyasi associates, other renunciates, Haridas Thakur's Abhadut ashram, but the sannyasis were there. And then Mahaprabhu again is requesting, I want to go to Vrindavan. And the Puri Basis, they're giving so many reasons. No, you cannot go now. Now is the winter season. It's very cold. Winter completed. Mahaprabhu again, I want to go to Vrindavan. And then they said, no, now is the Dol Yatra. The devotees from Bengal, they will come. Okay. And then the Chatumasha, no, you cannot go now. And then again the winter, no, Mahaprabhu, after 2 years, repeatedly requesting the Supreme Lord, but still without the blessings of the Vaishnava, he's not going to go to Vrindavan. He's not going to go without blessings, without permission of the Vaishnava, even though he's independent, Supreme Lord. So after some time, Mahaprabhu approached Ramananda Roy, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Bahut utkanta amar, jaite Vrindavan. Bahut utkanta more, jaite Vrindavan. Such a strong desire I have to go to Vrindavan. Tomar hate dui bochor na koilu gamon. But you are preventing me for 2 years. You are restricting me from going to Vrindavan. Tomar hate na jaite na hoite gamon. Na koilu gamon. So then they're feeling ashamed that they're preventing Mahaprabhu. So then they gave permission. And Mahaprabhu on the Vijay Dashami din, he departed Jagannath Puri for Vrindavan. However, he didn't make it to Vrindavan. Gauda hoite more dui shamasrai janani janubi hey dui doyamoy. I will go to Vrindavan via Bengal. Because Gauda hoite in Bengal, more dui shamasrai, I have 2 shelters, janani, janubi. Sachi Devi and Jhanobi, Maganga. Ek Dui Doyamoy. These 2 are full of mercy. So for this reason, Mahaprabhu, he attempted to go to Vrindavan. Madhva Lila, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 16, Mahaprabhu attempted to go to Vrindavan. And he went via Bengal, and so many devotees joined him. So many devotees. In fact, they would say we were... Yeah. Lokalok, Aishe, Taha, Deki Bare, thousands, hundreds of thousands, Lokalok, Aishe, Taha, Deki Bare, they come to see him. Tare Deki, Punarapi, Jaite, Nare, Gore, upon seeing him, they are unable to return home. Imagine people come to the temple in the morning program, and then after that they cannot go home. They're too much in love with Radha, Madan Mohan. Can you imagine our preaching? So many people, all the people who come, they never leave. Imagine how our preaching would expand. That's what Mahaprabhu's preaching was like. They come to see him and they cannot leave. They cannot leave. There's such a burning attachment. And even they forgot where their home was. Bari kotai janina monine buli giye. Bari kotai buli giye. As Mahaprabhu's preaching. And so such a crowd had gathered, such a huge crowd is Mahaprabhu. He's just doing Sankirtan. What effort we have to make for preaching. We saw poster coming here, we saw big poster, Janmashtami festival. So much money we have to spend for breaking their heads. We need baths, we need published books, we need programs, and nice, fresh, fine cloth, so many things, so much money. Opulent temples, prasadam, restaurants. So people are so dull. Mahaprabhu just dancing. Mahaprabhu just dancing. Ishikani, Shobna, feature nature, just dancing. He's performing Sankirtan. He's attracting so many people. And then he reached Ram Kelly, and Sanatana Goswami said, this is not the way to enter Vrindavan. First time meeting in Sanatana Goswami, he's giving advice. This is not the way. What a relationship. What a mature candidate. And this is not the way to go to Vrindavan with such a huge crowd. And then Mahaprabhu, he considered what Sanatana Goswami said, yes. He abandoned his effort, his journey to Vrindavan. He abandoned and he returned to Jagannath Puri and subsequently went to Vrindavan through the Jharikand and delivered the tigers. And there's the picture here. Delivered the tigers and the rhinoceros and the buffalo. They were dancing, raising their hoofs, ecstasy, crying and kissing each other. The buffalo, the tigers, the elephants. This is Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan in Jharikand. And then eventually he reached Vrindavan and remained a short time, just a week in Vrindavan. Because his inflamed love of God became so inflamed that it was too hard, too difficult to handle. Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he brought Mahaprabhu out of Vrindavan. So some thoughts shared today on Mahaprabhu's intense desire to go to Vrindavan. So any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for sharing the ecstatic nectar. I am just trying to understand. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu celebrated many festivals. Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees in Puri, they celebrated many festivals. Rath Yatra, all these festivals that you mentioned. But at least in my hearing, no understanding of when he celebrated Janmashtami. Have you come across any kind of literature where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees celebrating Janmashtami, other things?
So what's the question?
Have you come across any literature where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is celebrating Janmashtami, the festival?
So the question is, Janmashtami festival not described in great detail? Yeah, not described in great detail. Well, that's in Jagannath Puri, of course. Rath Yatra is such a Rath Yatra is such a prominent festival. Mahaprabhu, Rath Yatra festival, entirely the mood of the gopis in Vrindavan. Rath Yatra festival entirely, completely 100% saturated with the Braja Prema, Braja Bhav, and the Gopi Bhav. As Mahaprabhu is performing Rath Yatra like that. So every day is Janmashtami in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu. So in Jagannath Puri, yeah, it's special. The Rath Yatra is such a predominant mood there. But it's mentioned Mahaprabhu is He's instructing Sanatana Goswami Choishati Shadananga, and he mentions there that perform the festivals of the Lord, and he mentions Janmashtami, Choishati Shadananga. Janmashtami is prominent in Iskcon because Prabhupada, for preaching, Janmashtami Mahotsav is the first festival performed in Iskcon. The devotees, before initiation, they performed the first Janmashtami. Before the initiation, they're initiated on the next day. On the Prabhupada's appearance day, there was no Vyasa Puja ceremony in 1966 in 26 2nd Avenue. There was no Vyasa Puja. Prabhupada probably he didn't even tell devotees that was his birthday. That day, after the Janmashtami, Prabhupada said, today is Janmashtami, and we will fast all day. The devotees never heard about fasting before. And fast all day till midnight. And at midnight, they took prasadam, and Prabhupada was narrating the story of Krishna's Janma. And then next day there was initiation. And the devotees on Janmashtami day, they went to the market and they got the beads that are used for making coats and jackets, the beads. And they were stringing the beads. Prabhupada showed them how to make the knot. And they're all stringing 108 beads. Big, you see the pictures. Mukunda, Goshan, others, big beads they have. There were no japamala. Prabhupada, he had karatal, maybe he had karat, no mridanga, nothing. What he could carry on the Jaladuta, that's all Iskcon's property. And Prabhupada, what he carried on the Jaladuta, there was nothing. No japamala. And then next day, initiation, first initiation. The 10, 12 devotees that took initiation. They're very new. Mukunda Maharaj, he was initiated, his name was Michael. Prabhupada gave him the name Mukunda. And then Prabhupada said, you pay obeisances to the picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukunda, he said, who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He's initiated. Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? First hearing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then the devotees, then from Iskcon, these festivals are established in Iskcon. Janmashtami became a predominant festival in Iskcon. It was Prabhupada. He instructed the devotees. The first festival he instructed the devotees to perform was Janmashtami. So again the next year, Janmashtami. And then next festival was Rath Yatra. Prabhupada instructed the devotees to take the Lord on the chariot, and then this festival, Prasadam. So Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, the most important festivals in Iskcon from the very beginning, and they're growing. For preaching. That's what Janmashtami so many people come. Busiest day of the year. How many people come here? 50,000, 100,000 more? 200,000. Yeah. And it is so 200,000. Such a huge preaching. Janmashtami day. So on that day they're thinking about Krishna. So on that day first time I went to the temple in Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir, this is 42 years ago, Janmashtami day. First time I went to temple. One friend said, let's go to the Hare Krishna temple. It's Krishna's birthday. I said, Krishna is Krishna's birthday? It's Hare Krishna temple? I never heard these things. So let's go. Janmashtami day, I went to the temple. So even such Odom, Potit, fallen souls, they become somewhat inclined to Krishna on Janmashtami day. So we have to take advantage of that to facilitate, to connect them to the movement. And then 2 years later, I joined on Janmashtami. I moved into the temple. Prabhupada, I joined Janmashtami 2 years later and moved in the temple. I brought my bag and never left. So Janmashtami like that is for preaching. So many people will come. We'll be busy preaching. We won't even think about taking prasadam because we'll be so busy preaching. Janmashtami is for preaching. Krishna consciousness. Something else?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, you told some points regarding this. You give the example of the cricket, that person will running here and then they're getting the award. You give one more example that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is dancing and making the devotees. And we are doing so much management here. And instead we are not able to making proper devotees. One more example you give that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu last day eating in his home and next day he take the sannyas. So my question is this, Prabhuji. See, when we go into the organization way, we know that internal mood is very, very important for the running the center or running the temple. The internal, what do we call, internal mood is very important for the this thing. But at the same time, when we doing in the preaching mood, we require organizational way also, because many people will take sentimentally based on that devotional service, and later they will not able to follow. So in that, the main chaos will be happen instead of doing the right thing. So how to balance between both?
Anyway, I can't, it's not so clear exactly the sound system. I can't hear everything. But Prabhupada was so, Prabhupada, it's not that we're just chanting. Prabhupada organized so many things. Prabhupada, how he struggled to get books published. Prabhupada, what takes now a whole team, a whole department, not the department, you have to have the books have to be, the books are written, the books are edited, the books are proofread, the books are published, the books are bound, the books are published, then the books are delivered, and then the books are sold. There's all different departments. We're publishing books, we're editing books, we're making a nice cover, we're transporting books. There's all different departments, hundreds of men. And then they're selling books, hundreds of men. Prabhupada doing everything alone. Writing the books, and then taking the manuscript, getting the proofreading 3-4 times he had to read, make all the edits. And then Prabhupada going, collecting money to get books published, begging money to get books published. And then he's bringing the books from the publisher, he's storing them in chippy water, and then he's selling the books. And then selling the first volume again, getting money to make the next. What struggle Prabhupada did to publish first canto. So this is preaching. You have to use all our efforts. Sarvatra amaragai kuruho prakashan. In all different ways, we have to expand the preaching. In so many ways, the online preaching, the campus preaching, college preaching, the food for life, prasadam distribution, this, that. There's no limit. That was Prabhupada's style. There's no limit. You expand. However, fundamentally, the Nam Sankirtan is fundamental core of preaching. That it's all to bring people into connection to hearing the name of Krishna. Everything is about making people hear the name of Krishna. And that will awaken their eternal relationship with Krishna. That Enecha Oshad, Maya Nashi Baro Lage. I bought medicine which Maya Nashi Baro Lage, which destroys the illusion. So in so many ways we will package the holy name and distribute and new ways. The new ways. It hasn't been done before. Somehow or other. Jena kena prakarena. In any way. Get the holy name into their ears, and if possible get them to chant or dance. That's preaching Krishna consciousness. But we see in the example of Mahaprabhu that that's all he was doing. It's so powerful. It's just by chanting everything happened. We have so many things we will do. It's not that we're averse. It's not that it's a botheration. No, this is our life. Spreading Krishna. Pranache jay prachahetu. It's a life. So many ways, so many new ways. Give your life to preaching Krishna consciousness. But essentially, preaching means distributing the holy name. Thank you very much. It's always very enlivening to visit Prabhupada's temple, Abits, Hyderabad. Thank you for this honoring me to be able to speak in his temple in front of Prabhupada's personally installed deities. It's my great honor. Thank you very much. I desire your association life after life. Skrantad Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Gauda Pramanande Hari Hari Bol.